Hi Stampin' friends, tonight I'm going to use the Floral Delight Suite from Stampin' Up. It will be available in the January through April mini catalog. That starts January 7th. I know that's a ways off, but I just wanted to kind of get these out there because I think they're so pretty. Everybody has different tastes, but these colors, these lovely light lemon lolly and pool party contrasted with the old olive. I just really think they're gorgeous colors. I am dressed for Christmas and I am still enjoying Christmas, but my cards are going out this weekend, hopefully. And I'm kind of wrapping up my holiday crafting. So I'm kind of ready to start thinking about other things. You can see behind me, the blue sled and white skates is from my team member, second level downline, Sherry Fick, and that's such a pretty card. I really liked it. So anyway, that is what I will be doing this weekend, but I wanted to kind of show a little glimpse of spring, and it's kind of the first of spring on into summer. I know some of these are, to me, look like, let's go ahead and show you here just a second. Some of these look to me like marigolds, and then some to me look like kind of forsythia, because there's a branch that comes with it in the dies. And so to me, they look like forsythias, which people start forcing, I believe, maybe even in January. Here, this is the one that looks the most like forsythia. It's you remember the plant with the yellow blooms, bright yellow blooms. So I think that's a really good one for early spring, and it's really pretty and not one we've had before. So I love how different it looks to my eye than what we've had. And it comes with gorgeous vellum, printed vellum. So they're in colors, in the same color families as the designer series paper. So great patterns and great die cut designs as well. So when we look at this Stampin' die set, we have the leaves, but the leaves typically, if you are using the yellow colorway, the leaves typically don't come out until later. You can certainly put them on there, but typically when the branches are forced, every time it's going to be on a bare branch. It's just going to be the forsythias, but you can certainly, flowers, you can certainly stamp this inside, and it does have really pretty, what I consider to be either marigolds or cosmos. So you could stamp this one certainly in a variety of colors. You could even use a green stem, maybe trim this back a little bit, make it look a little less woody, and make this like delphiniums or something like that, using blue colors when you go to stamp. Okay, so here are, I'm going to try to keep this separate for you so it's not too confusing. Here are the pattern papers that are in the designer series paper pack, the typical paper. So there you have this side with the forsythia branches, or what I'm calling them. Who knows what they might be to you. And then a diagonal yellow on white polka dotted. And then here we have either chrysanthemums, marigolds, something like that. And the back side is an old olive, kind of a linen texture. And then we have marigolds on pool party here, very pretty. To me, this is a little more intense, a little more of maybe a peach pie instead of just what it's supposed to be, which is Daffodil Delight. And the back side of it is a pattern of Daffodil Delight. And I think it looks like, let me go ahead and open this up. This little die here that cuts kind of a little pattern. I think you could probably, this kind of looks like a repetition of that pattern. One thing I also like about this die is it has this long piece to cut out you a happy birthday. And so that will make it very easy to use. This one and this one, these two guys here, you can layer like we did our zinnia. That was an online exclusive, which I really enjoyed. So this is going to look very similar, but maybe just look a little more, golly, that is stuck down. There we go. A little bit more like a marigold than that, but there you can see it just makes a pretty flower head. And then the wishing where we can either cut out a thin wishing, or we can stamp and cut out, or layer our thinner one on top of our thicker one. So I think it'll be pretty useful. And it is one that you're going to stamp it rather than color it for the most part. I'm sure someone will come up with a way to add more intense color, though, throughout getting things, making cards with it. Okay, I'm going to use this. I had this green out, and I was like, oh, I would really like that with it too. This is just the soft seafoam, and I love soft colors. So I think that would be so pretty with it as well. Especially when you're doing some layering, like, layering this on top of the green, something like that. All right, so this little piece has white flowers, and when you look at it on the other papers, it doesn't look as intense, but this is a really intensely colored blue. Hold on, that's my paper I'm going to stamp on later. There, you can see it. There the edges are more even. I think this would be gorgeous. You just put your little guy on there, add your wishing, probably this one. And then, okay, hold on. I grab the white. And then your wishing on top of the white there. And remember, we have this ribbon. I don't think this is supposed to be Pool Party, but oddly enough, I think it kind of blends. I think it's supposed to be our balmy blue, but I think it kind of blends nicely. And then we also have this in an online exclusive, which is Lost Lagoon, and I think that will add an intense color. But I'm gonna try to maybe let my husband try to figure out how to get it. Oh no, I got it. There we go. I was gonna say I don't think I can get it, but yeah. There, I think that is definitely in the same color family, so that will look really gorgeous with it. The other piece is this. I'll pick this back up again. Has both Pool Party Old Olive, and it has both the pretty forsythias and the marigolds. Another thing I kind of wanted to show you about this, and it's a little hard for me to show you because it's kind of underneath here, but if you were to put your stem under here, you could just use this as a card front like I have here. The only problem with this one is I didn't think of that when I was cutting it out, so it doesn't line up perfectly. It doesn't line up where you would normally cut these out. But you can see here the one I should have chosen here would line up well with these pieces. Like that. And then my point is you wouldn't have to cut it out. It would be behind it, and that would be a really cool look of going through. Maybe you'd use pecan pie because it would be a darker brown, but that would look really nice. And then this gorgeous gingham, Pool Party gingham. I really like that. I like it in the yellow as well, but I just think that makes a beautiful look here. Now, to adhere it to your cardstock, certainly any of these that have a lot of color behind them, that would be a place to just put a glue dot. If you were going to stick it to the front of, let's say, this white, basic white, thick cardstock base, you would just stick your adhesive dots on that side. So let's see here if I can make that make sense for you. This makes it so easy to use the vellum because you don't really have to think about it all that much. So then you would just put this on here. And you can probably still get under there with this is the new 1/8 inch Daffodil Delight ribbon. And you could pop that under there. Any place that you don't have a glue dot. Whoops, I thought I had one right under there. Okay, I do have. And wrap that around your card base. And it's gonna be really hard for me not to just I feel like I could make an entire class just on these because I like them so well. Putting some of this gingham on the top really ties in the ribbon nicely. But if you'd rather, you could put this, the blue on top of it and then use either this one or the one we think probably matches better, this shiny satin Lost Lagoon. And that would just look really pretty. Okay, so that is a possibility. I'm just gonna kind of set it to the side there. And then I'm gonna show you this one here. If you're wanting to go even simpler, you can use your wishing. Whoa, this wishing here, like that. And then the white on top of it, because there's not a lot of white on this card yet. Now, another thing I wanted to mention, everybody always puts this on with contrast. I do think that just having the wishing of the small die on top of the large die is very pretty as well. And I do like how that can make it really sweet. Now, the way a lot of people do this is they'll put this on an adhesive sheet, die cut it onto an adhesive sheet, and then it'll be stuck on here. I am one who kind of likes to use either a small glue pen or use an old sponge and just kind of dab it on lightly. So that's my opinion on that. The adhesive sheets kind of stick to things for me. So just my opinion. All right, so that I think is a pretty look, but I wanted to also show you that you could put this on here as well. You're going to get the same kind of a look. And then, hold on just a second. I'm going to put it on this yellow. There we go. So let's say you've picked out a spot here. And you can also, the one that I die cut from this, I'll be making a card that basically has the vellum on it. And so you may want to kind of crunch some of them up just a little bit like that. And you'll be sure where you are and you'll put that on there. And I think that in the vellum will be so pretty. Some of them you'll notice with this die are cut out individually. And then this block here is cut out together. So that piece, you'll want to just kind of jumble up the edges rather than the distance and just kind of put it like that. And then I should have a couple more here, maybe one there, and then one up here. So there you can see it kind of makes it look like it's in the background. This would be gorgeous in pinks as well if you'd like to just use a plain background and put flowers that are pink in it. They would look like cherry blossoms, like in Washington, D.C., that kind of thing. And then the wishing you a happy birthday, I think is perfect with this one. So you might just put the light, I don't know, maybe it does need the, whoops, I just keep getting my elbow. I'm not used to long sleeves, you guys. The weather is so chilly. Oops. Get rid of that real quick. And then wishing, well, you get the idea. Wishing you a happy birthday, like that. And then I also just kind of wanted to show you the way, when I stamped these, I stamped this one on the Lemon Lolly with Daffodil Delight. And with this one, I stamped Lemon Lolly and then I stamped Daffodil Delight. So that's what I wanted to stamp for you right now. So I've got this piece here of, well, one of these. This is not the one. This is the perfectly sized one. I'm just going to use this one. So I've got this stamp here that has the more intricate, the lines, the inner lines. And then I've got this stamp with the bulk of the petals, just kind of the outside. So I think it is easier to stamp the darker pieces first, inking those up with the Daffodil Delight. I'm just going to put it right there. And then inking up the petals, the main petal pieces, outside petals, however you want to call it, with Lemon Lolly. And then I'm just going to kind of, once I've done the darker color, I can kind of see what I'm doing with the Lemon Lolly. I hope you can see that. And there you go. So it's just kind of stamped on there. And another one little thing I wanted to say is about the color choices. This is the You a Happy Birthday Stampin' Pool Party. I think it's a little bit difficult to see. So I did it also in our Coastal Cabana, and I think it is still the same, you know, it looks like it's still the same color, just a little darker, and the same would probably work for Lost Lagoon, and it just adds, on this card I probably wouldn't put it on here. In this color, I would probably use the Daffodil Delight, but certainly with maybe this color where we're doing the wishing, and the same little idea, then it would certainly look super cute on that one. But if you need it to be more high contrast, you can always just go a shade darker. That's what's so great about Stampin' Up! That makes it so easy. I appreciate you all watching, and I hope that you have a great weekend. Bye-bye.